Young men and women, with the pillars, with the future, here we are. Let's join together with ability to change communities, with love, with peace, to respond to our need, to call for unity. Africa, hear me cry, never leave me alone. As I see light in a brighter future, let's join hands for youth and women. Let's join hands for youth and
so
women.
I lead, we lead together. So you lead, I lead, we lead together. We will lead, let your dream be a reality. We will lead, let your dream be a reality.
Yeah, vijana wa Afrika wote waungana, vijana vijana kutoka mashariki, magharibi, kaskazini na kusini, hata na kati, twaja pamoja ili tufanye nini?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the African Pulse Check-in. I am very, very excited to have you guys and to just share with you what is happening. Yet again, my name is Sebastian, Segawa Ivan Sebastian, and I am the regional coordinator of the ESC Youth Ambassadors Platform. But most importantly, I am your gracious host here at the African Youth Pulse Check-in. And it's been a minute, but I just wanted to say that we were sorting out a couple of things, which included how often we should meet as the Pulse, which now is confirmed that it will be every Tuesday and every Friday. And we have had a couple of you reaching out and saying that you would like to be part of the Pulse. And for those of you that have not yet, just reach out to our socials, whichever social media you are using right now, just inbox us or just go to the comment section now, and I'll be able to follow up with you after hosting this Pulse. I see you, Fiona. It's very exciting to hear from you. Please tell me where you are and what is happening there. But while we are at it, I just want to quickly start. You guys know how we do it. We first go through what is happening across Africa and probably the world, like for today, and then we shall later have a discussion about, that's something I have prepared. It's about the East African community, but it's tea, because today we are having the heads of an extraordinary meeting of the heads of SET Summit, and the intention is for them to admit the Democratic Republic of Congo into the ESC. And I thought, why not? We could just have a day of understanding how the ESC works and what it means, in my perspective anyway, what it would mean for the DRC to join the EAC. But before that, a lot of things are happening around the world. I don't know what has been happening where you are, but I am in Kampala and in Uganda. The mood is not the best. We recently, last Sunday, we lost our Speaker of Parliament, the Right Honorable Jacob Olanya, and the country has been mourning, and we have also had a couple of dramatic scenes because our constitution prescribes that no business in parliament should happen before, if the office of the speaker is vacant, which meant that we had to go into a process of electing a speaker. And you guys know how politics is when it comes to campaigns. And yeah, so it was not probably the best moment of mourning, but we got our speaker, who was the former deputy speaker, the Right Honorable Among Anita, and then we also got a new deputy speaker, the Right Honorable Taewa. That said, I think now we are expecting the return of the body and remains of the late Right Honorable Jacob Olanya. May the good Lord rest his soul. I'll just take a moment to pay respects to him. Indeed, may the good Lord rest his soul. Away from that, that's really the general mood in Uganda, that people have been trying to remember the best times of the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament of Uganda, who was a good orator, but also was running a very, very good youth-friendly policy, at least in Uganda. One of his policies was to ensure that there is so much discourse and young people are exposed to public speaking and to debate, so that they can understand that no one should ever feel that they should be speaking out of turn or out of rumor if they do not have facts or they have not researched their position of debate, which is an important thing, I think, for the new generation. I also thought that it was going to be exciting with him presiding over parliament, and we see how members of parliament would conduct themselves under such strict guidance. But we all know that we live on borrowed time, and at some point we shall all have to return to our Maker for the believers. And I think his time was due. He died in the USA, in Seattle. We shall be receiving his body as a country this Friday, according to the Minister of Presidency. And we shall have a whole next week of mourning and state funeral. And definitely his family will also, I think, accord him a culture of funeral. It is necessary from the northern part of Uganda, where he comes from, and then we shall lay him to rest. Away from that, I see you, Mbeshe. I am in Malawi, but as a refugee in my own continent. Yes, Mbeshe. Feli, we are going to have you on the African Pulse check-in. I'll reach out after this episode, probably this Friday. We would like to understand how that works out for you. And last but by no means least, I would like to know what is happening where you are. A couple of things are happening on the continent, but before I discuss those, I know that all of you have been preoccupied with the war in Ukraine, that standoff with Ukraine and Russia. And I must say that we pray for them to come to an amicable understanding. We always should choose peace or peaceful means, diplomatic means to solving issues before they escalate to innocent people losing lives. But speaking of peace and violence, I also know that for anyone who used social media yesterday, you knew what was blowing off. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock on live television during the Oscars. That has also, had mixed reactions, whether as people, we should always respond to all inconveniences with violence or with physical altercations. That is probably also food for thought. But you guys know I'm always a preacher of peace all the way. Anyway, when we come back to the African continent, we have a very exciting peace conversations that are coming up. You guys remember the issue with Ethiopia and that Tigray? I hope I'm mentioning that right. And there was a ceasefire that was committed to. So both sides, the Ethiopian government and the Tigray, they call them rebels, but okay, the Tigray people who are fighting the government, they have committed to observing a humanitarian ceasefire. We hope that this is long lasting and they just turn to uh, diplomatic ways of trying to solve the situation that they are having. I think that will be most interesting. But away from that, a lot more is happening. The other day, I was sharing with you guys what was happening around COVID and the interventions around Africa actually having plants that can create the COVID drugs. But today, I also come with more news not about COVID. Today, we are moving entirely different from the COVID world, but we still are in Africa. And there has also been a show about African rich celebrities on Netflix that also has weird, extremely weird reception from people. Some people are so glued to it. Some people, they have their reservations. I won't say which people I am, but I just want to say that this goes a long way to say that it is still a win for the continent that we are even having reality shows on platforms like Netflix. And you guys know that Netflix is heavily invested in having a buy-in into the rich African market for them, and they are doing the most to do that. Hopefully, for all our creatives out there, you are able to reach out to Netflix if you have good content, and we pray that as a young person who is a creative, that your content gets there, and you probably can showcase and shine a light on your talent. That said, we go to the main issue. Oh God, time is moving so fast. It's already been 12 minutes. But like I shared earlier, that interventions have been underway to have the DRC join the East African community. And today, we are having an extraordinary meeting of the ESC to ensure that this happens. I thought that before we probably have that discussion, I wanted to quickly share with you a few facts about the ESC. I want to believe that many people, at least in the ESC, know that, but because we have a very diverse and rich audience, I thought it is important. And then I actually think we should just create series of shining a light on the regional economic communities in Africa, so that people can know how many regional economic communities are recognized at the AU and what that really means for us as young people, whether we know them or whether we know that opportunities that come with living in a country that belongs to any of these regional economic communities. And for those that didn't know, definitely we shall be able to go through them sometime. But we have about, let me see, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 recognized regional communities. And if I can recite them off the top of my head, we have the Arab Maghreb Union, which is UMA. We have that is for the northern part of Africa. We have the Common Market for Eastern and Southern Africa. That is, I think, is the most common. Was the most common rec when I was growing up. COMESA. At least we learned so much about COMESA in school. And then we have the community of Sahel, the community of Sahel Sahara states, which is CEN SAD. We have the East African community, yours truly. Now I want to say the most popular, but that is my opinion because I interact a lot with the ESC. And then we have the Economic Community of Central African States, ECAS, Mid Africa. Then we have the Economic Community. No, I have said that's the Economic Community of Central African States. That's ECAS, I've mentioned it. We have the Economic Community of West African States. That's ECOWAS. Yeah, ECOWAS has also been there for a while now. We have the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD. And then last but by no means least, Southern African Development Community, which is SADC. And when we start discussing them, probably at a later time, you will realize that most of these regional economic communities have very progressive leadership regarding mostly youthful engagement. That I'll just speak for the EAC right now. They have the East African Community Youth Ambassadors Platform, probably even SADC, because the chairperson of the SADC Youth Council is a member of the EAC Youth Ambassadors Platform. So SADC also has SIOF, and we shall delve into other regional economic communities and their representative efforts. But before we do that, I thought that it is important, like I said earlier, to share with you guys what is happening, and to mention, I've already said it, that today the Heads of State Summit is sitting to consider admission of the DRC. But for those that didn't know, the East African Community is a regional intergovernmental organization of 6 partner states. That is the republics of Burundi, South Sudan, Rwanda, Kenya, Uganda, and the United Republic of Tanzania, which has mainland Tanzania and Zanzibar. The EAC has its headquarters in Arusha, Tanzania, and if we are to go by the 2019 statistics, the EAC had 177 million Ugandans. What that means, I'm so sorry, patriotism is taking over. 177 million citizens, members of the EAC, when you join the population of all the 6 partner states. Of course, it goes without saying that in Uganda we are about 44 million Ugandans, and if DRC joins us, which I'm very positive it will, we shall have its whopping 100 million citizens joining the EAC, which is something that we are excited to look out for. For those that didn't know, that the EAC is guided by its Treaty of Establishment, which was signed on 30th November 1999, and which means that it entered and ultimately entered into force on 7th July 2000, following the ratification by the original 3 partner states, that was Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. The Republic of Rwanda and the Republic of Burundi acceded to the Treaty of the EAC on 18th July 2007 and became full members of the community from the 1st of July, the same year, 2007. The Republic of South Sudan, which is the world's youngest country, also acceded to the treaty on 15th April 2016 and became a full member of the EAC on 5th August 2016. The East African Community is known as one of the fastest growing regional economic blocs in the world. Very exciting news coming from there. But today, I just wanted to shine a light on probably how it operates and what the journey of Congo has been to join the EAC so fast. Now that we know exactly what the EAC means and how the EAC, what entails to be a member of the EAC, I think it is also critical now that we understand the organs of the EAC, how the EAC runs. So, quickly, the East African Community, like I've already shared, is an intergovernmental body organization, and today we are having the extraordinary summit. To understand this extraordinary summit, we need to first understand how the EAC works. And I need to let you know that the EAC has 6 main organs by which it operates. It has the summit, the Council of Ministers, the Coordinating Committee, the Sectoral Committee, the East African Court of Justice, and the East African Legislative Assembly, which is the EALA, and then the EAC Secretariat. The ordinary summit, the summit usually is convened annually, and it comprises of heads of states, of heads of government of the partner states. The summit, when it is organized the way it is usually planned, is called the Ordinary Summit, and it sits to give strategic direction towards the realization of the goal and objectives of the ESC, which is deep widening integration and deepening cooperation between ESC member states to achieve all those benefits: economic, security, political, you name them. However, an extraordinary summit can always be convened to discuss matters of urgency. And today we are having an extraordinary summit of the heads of states of the ESC, and the matter of urgency is admitting the DRC. The extraordinary summit is preceded by an extraordinary meeting of the Council of Ministers of the ESC, and the council is the central decision-making and governing organ of the ESC. Its membership constitutes, of course, of either ministers or cabinet secretaries from the partner states whose dockets are responsible for regional cooperation. So in Uganda, that would be the Minister of East African Community Affairs. We call it MIACA back home. But those ministers that are responsible for regional cooperation in the ESC are the ones that make up the Council of Ministers. And to just go a mile further, today, like I said, I'm really excited to get a few young people from the DRC to join the check-in, and I get to understand the feel of what it means to be them right now joining the ESC. But I want to say that the work has been ongoing for quite the time right now. DRC kicked off its application to join the ESC in 2019, and we have had Secretariat, actually all organs of the ESC, working towards achieving this ever since the 18th Extraordinary Summit, Heads of State Summit, guided that Secretariat should look forward to admitting ESC and okayed their application to the ESC. And I think the culmination of the interventions was held early this year in January, between around 14th, 15th to the 24th, 25th. It happened in Nairobi, where a team that was led by Dr. Alice Yala, who is the Integration Secretary at the Ministry of ESC and Regional Development, and then there was also a Professor Saj, who was the special envoy of His Excellency President Felix Tshisekedi. I need to learn His Excellency's name now that I suppose I'll be mentioning it so much. But should DRC join? DRC, I told you, it has about over 100 million citizens, and it joining the ESC would mean that we shall have one of the largest youth populations as a regional bloc, because over 70% of citizens of the DRC are young people. So we are looking at about 70 million young people joining the ESC. And speaking of young people and joining, we do have Anita joining us this morning. Hi, Anita.
Hello, Ivan.
You're most welcome.
Thank you.
How is your morning? Where are you, and what is happening there?
Kampala, Uganda. My morning is lovely. I'm joining in from Kampala, Uganda. And what is happening over here is getting geared up for the 19th Extraordinary Summit of the Heads of States for the ESC.
All right. Wasn't it supposed to start like 22 minutes ago, though?
The time was adjusted to midday, so we
Midday.
will
Great.
still be time for it. Yeah.
I see. I am a lucky man. Now I get to watch the summit. But for those of you that want to continue through with the summit, it is going to be, I think, broadcast live on the ESC website, which is esc.int. Anita, do I have that right?
That's correct.
All right. I'll just put it in the comments for those of you that want to follow the Health of State Summit, probably young people from Congo, yes, from the DRC, you should be very, very interested in knowing that. But our time is almost fast spent. It's been 25 minutes. We just have 5 more minutes to go. But now that we have Anita, I just want to borrow your mind. Oh, I have just shared with Pulse family the loss of our Honorable Speaker of Parliament and the little drama that we had selecting the new speaker. But what I want to get your opinion on is what has broken the internet in the last about 20, 24 hours, which was the Oscars incident. Anita, please tell me you can hear me again still.
I can. I can. I was just laughing at how
Cool.
you're putting me on the spot on this one.
No, the situation was interesting, and I have had very different opinions. Some ranging from defend your partner, defend your family, and others urging to violence has no space in this world. I just want to know which team are you? I
In the
promise
spirit.
this is I promise this is a safe space. No one is going to hold you for inciting anything. Please just share with us what
Uh,
what you feel.
for starters, the internet is not a safe space. But let me start off on a light note. On a light note, the fact that the bar is now set quite high for every other guy out there. Like people are going to be looking at you like,
Ouch.
why aren't you throwing
Ouch.
punches? But okay, that's a bad joke. But I'm of the view that
You,
as shocked
the irony
yesterday,
that you're using a joke right now, a bad joke.
the what I was thinking about yesterday actually, as the news broke very early in the morning, by about maybe 4 p.m. there were um, the name um, the name Will was trending at 2 point I think 08 million
Million.
million,
Yo.
and I just felt like this is insane. But also I think that people have good days and they have bad days, and you react in a moment, and because the internet is so alive and awake and waiting for you, it lives there, and your entire life can be defined by one moment. I think, um, not to take sides here, I think anyone can be caught up in a situation that they would regret. And there's actually a video also in circulation, because very few minutes after that, the star received an accolade. He won an Oscar, and he goes up on stage, and he was already remorseful by that time. So my take is, anyone, what happened at the Oscars could happen to any of us. Just that for most of us, it's very unlikely that we will trend at 2.08 million people globally. Yeah.
I am convinced that you have thrown a punch, Anita. But like I said, no judgment over here. The pulse is a safe space. You come and share your opinions, right? But anyway,
Come on now.
like I said, today in the ESC, all focus is on the extraordinary summit of the heads of states. We are all awaiting
Yes.
what is going to come out of that. Very exciting. Whether we are going to grow or we are going to remain at, but by growth I mean in numbers, yeah. But otherwise, the ES is a steady growth. In Uganda, the saying is usually steady progress, which also has very mixed reactions from different people. But because we need to jump onto following the summit, so that we can report things as they happen to you, good people, and not hearsay. We shall be, I think, calling it a day here. And today, I just want to request Anita to bid us farewell by encouraging us to be peaceful people, disregarding the opinions she has on, you know.
My my encouragement, anyway, like Sebastian said, it's important, yeah, that we keep the peace. um I am Christian, and we're told in the Bible that as much as you can and as often as you can, be at peace with everyone around you. So stay peaceful and have a friend handy always to hold you back when you want to throw hands.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That said, what more can I say? Remain peaceful. We still are going to start a segment that is purely focused on the Kenyan election because, speaking of peace, we shall always and always want every election cycle in in Africa to be peaceful, mostly the post-election period. And I see you, Okenyi James, you said, how can I be part of this? I've shared a link. Unfortunately, you have come in when we are concluding, but I've shared a link on the chat. If you could just tap it, you could join us, say hello for about a minute, and then we can call it a day. So James, if you are hearing me, please just tap the link that has been shared on the chat, and let's see whether we can have you in studio for a quick hello before we close the check-in today. Otherwise, for those of you that know about our daily programming, we are back with a ULEAD Unplugged series. And because this has been the Women History Month, all our Unplugged series have been focusing on women. And for those of you, again, that didn't know, they are, ever since the year started, we have been having the Unplugged series. But every last Thursday of the month, we usually have a peace segment integrated that is hosted by the East African Youth Peace Network. But even that has been focusing on young people, young ladies, and the intervention in peace and security as a commemoration of the Women History Month. And tomorrow next, yes, the Unplugged series happens every Thursday at 7 p.m. East African Standard Time. We are having a topic around empowering women in their health choices. And I'll just read for you a quick brief that's up today about 1.2 billion adolescents. Those are young ladies aged between 10 to 19 years, make up 16% of the world's population. That's mind blowing. And access to quality sexual and reproductive health services and information is essential to protect their health and their ability to plan their lives. Yet, around the world, harmful social norms, gender stereotypes are perceived need to control female sexuality and other inequalities make accessing information and services challenging, if not impossible, for adolescents, especially girls. Therefore, this week, the discussions of the Unplugged series will be how the community leadership and civil society can empower women and girls in their health choices. Please plug in, and at least if you have a way you want to suggest that how communities can work, we shall be happy to hear it and publicize it. But if you also are wondering how you could be part of ensuring that young ladies are empowered in making their health choices, please tune in. We are having a very prolific panelists who will share their insights, and they are seasoned ladies who have been working in the sexual reproductive health departments, and I think it will be a learning lesson for most of us. But I always say, and I'll never stop saying, that if anything, we should always know that we are outcomes of the societies that we live in. So every time you have an opportunity to make your society better, you know that you are not only impacting your well-being, but well-beings of generations. Because every time we create an environment that is not safe for some of us, then we are going to have an output of a particular part of citizenry that is either dangerous or that is marginalized. So your society should always reflect what you want to see in the worldwide world. That said, I want to say now that James, I'll be able to reach out to you after this check-in, and probably we shall see whether we can have you in our next segment. But as always, I'm very excited that you people were here with me. Thank you, Anita, for dropping in and for preaching that peaceful message. You know, from your sharing today, I now believe that we should indeed do as you say, probably not as you do. And I'm not saying that you have done anything. That's it. Thank you guys so much for joining in. And I encourage you that for those of you that are keen to follow what is happening, please go to the ESC website and be able to join in and watch the Heads of State Summit and the outcomes of those deliberations today and whether the DRC will be admitted. I will be closing off by the ULEAD song remix, which is called ULEAD. Enjoy.
Tusonga mbele mama Afrika, Afrika.